Hello everyone! Today, we are going to have another first quarter Mapeh lesson in grade 8, and this is under the health module. This lesson is focused on family health, specifically gender and human sexuality, for the first part of this lesson. Are you ready to learn all about this topic? Let's start with the lesson. As you continue to grow and develop, it is important that you know how to manage the crucial aspect of your personality, your sexual health. This lesson will help you understand the concept of gender and human sexuality. It will also enhance your decision-making skills to help you manage sexuality-related concerns. Knowledge of sexually transmitted infections or STIs like human immunodeficiency virus or HIV and acquired immune deficiency syndrome or AIDS as linked to gender and human sexuality issues is particularly significant for one's sexuality, a significant factor to the optimum development of family health. Prevailing norms and standards of society relative to gender and human sexuality have greatly influenced the important growing implications for the HIV and AIDS challenge. As a final point, education for human sexuality will help you make intelligent decisions concerning sexual behaviors and will help you grow into a mature man or a mature woman. Sexuality as an important component of one's personality. Sexuality is a natural and healthy part of life. It is everything about being a male or female. It's the most important aspect of masculine or feminine identification. Sexuality involves the name given at birth, the toys played with, the clothes worn, the friends played with, the roles and responsibilities at home, and it provides a sense of self-worth when sexual understanding is positive. Sex is a major aspect of personality. It is closely related to emotional and social development and can be understood by connecting it to the total adjustment of the individual in the family and society. The process of sexual development begins from birth to adulthood, thus, it is a continuous developmental process throughout life. The purpose of gender and human sexuality education is to promote wholesome family and interpersonal relationships. It aims to provide you with the knowledge and skills needed to establish and practice healthful behaviors. Finally, it aims to produce students like you who can take responsibility for sexual health. Sexuality refers to your total self. First is your physical self. It is the way you look as a man or a woman. Next is your mental self. This is the way you think as a man or a woman. Next is your social self, the way you interact with others. Next, you have your emotional self. This is the way you feel about yourself and also towards others. And last one is your ethical self. This is the way you value your relationships. Sexuality means you have to be aware of yourself better. As you grow older, you will experience a range of social, emotional, and physical changes. As this occurs, you need an intensive knowledge on how to deal with your attitudes and behaviors. Sexuality refers to your attitudes and behavior towards yourself. It is how you see yourself, how you think of yourself, how you love yourself, and how you feel about yourself. Healthy sexuality means taking high sense of responsibility for all your actions since this can affect self-esteem, decision-making, and behavior. Sexuality can be understood through the help of the people around you. Sexuality towards others is how you see others, how you think of others, how you feel about others, and how you love others. Sexuality refers to your perceptions, feelings, and behaviors towards others. The way you see yourself is influenced by many people. It is important to maintain good relationships with others. They will support you and give you confidence, provide companionship, and will keep you from being lonely. Healthy sexuality encompasses the following characteristics. First is self-love. This is your acceptance of yourself. The next one is self-knowledge. This is your understanding of your feelings and your character. Next is self-confidence, your awareness of the things that you can do well. Another one is self-respect, your regard for yourself as a worthwhile person. And the last one is self-expression. This is your way of showing your individuality in expressing yourself as a man or a woman. Bear in mind that learning human sexuality is important because of the following. Giving and receiving love is a human need. It will help you appreciate your sexual identity. You should respect your own and another person's body. You will experience bodily changes and you need to learn how to properly manage these changes. It will help you appreciate how life began. You have the right to be informed on how to be disease-free and to live a healthy lifestyle. Now let's talk about gender. Gender is a social concept on how men and women should think, feel, and act. It refers to your femininity or masculinity of a person's role and behavior as defined by society. Human sexuality is the quality of being male or female. It is the way in which we experience and express ourselves as sexual beings. Health attitudes can influence sexual behavior. For yourself, you appreciate your own body, you take responsibility for your own behavior, you are knowledgeable about your sexuality issues. For your family, you communicate effectively with your family, you are able to express love to your family members, and you perform your duties and responsibilities at home. For your peers, you express love and intimacy in appropriate ways. You have the skills to evaluate readiness for mature relationship. You interact with both genders in appropriate and respectful ways, and you respect both gender in all aspects. Here are some key terms that will be useful in our discussion. First is the term sex. This is centered on the biological basis of being a male or a female. Next is gender. It is a social concept on how men and women should think, feel, and act. It refers to femininity or masculinity of a person's role and behavior. Next is gender equality. It permits man and woman equal enjoyment of human rights. Next is gender role. It refers to set of roles, characteristics, and expectations of how a man or woman should feel, think, and act as influenced by parents, peers, and society. Next is sexuality. It is an integral part of what we do and who we are. It is the way in which we experience and express ourselves as sexual beings. It is the total expression of an individual's self-concept. Gender role is often an outward expression of gender identity. It is manifested within society by observable factors such as behavior and appearance. Your gender role demonstrates the typical characteristics of a person in his or her behavior. For example, you are masculine if you are a breadwinner, you are feminine if you are a babysitter. Sexual behavior standards are behaviors that have come to be accepted by society. Social and cultural norms are some of the factors which influence gender roles. Let's go to using life skills to improve sexual health. What are these life skills? These are the following. First is assessing your health, making good decisions, communicating effectively, practicing wellness, setting goals, using refusal skills, and evaluating media messages. The life skills that are mentioned will give you the tools to deal with problems both big and small. When it comes to assessing your health, this means evaluating your well-being periodically. This includes your sexuality. Figure out what you can do to improve your health if it is not as good as it can be. Making good decisions. This means making choices that are healthy and responsible. You must have the courage to make difficult decisions and stick to them. Communicating effectively. Communication skills help you avoid misunderstanding by expressing your feelings in a healthy way. This means if you listen to what people say, they will want to listen to you as well. Next is practicing wellness, and this can be accomplished through information about good sexuality. Setting goals, aiming for something that will give you a sense of accomplishment. Just be sure to be realistic with your target goal. Refusal skill. It is a way to say no to something that you don't want to do. This requires practice, but first, you must feel strongly about what things you want to avoid. Evaluating media messages. Being able to judge the worth of media messages. It is a big challenge knowing that most media messages are very convincing. Now let's talk about decision making. A decision is a choice you make or act upon. A good decision is a decision in which you have carefully considered the outcome of each choice. To accept personal responsibility is to accept how your decisions may affect you and other people. Decision-making skills will help you make decisions based on your needs and desires. At the same time, it will help you to resist peer pressure. Decision-making skills must be practiced and exercised in resolving issues and concerns about sexuality. At the end, you have to understand gender and human sexuality with a lesson in decision-making. Here are 6 steps of decision-making. For the letter D, determine the problem. For letter E, explore the alternatives. Letter C, consider the consequences. Letter I, identify your values. Letter D, decide. And letter E, evaluate. Your decisions related to your sexual behaviors affect yourself and others now or later in your life. These sexual behaviors may be toward yourself, your family, your friends, or other people. Thus, what you choose to do and how you behave should be guided by family, social, and spiritual standards and should be based on decision-making steps or procedures. Let's talk about the topic of double standard of morality. Boys and girls are given the impression of men being superior to women. In as much as we would like to practice gender equality, the rules for human conduct and human appropriateness are not alike for both sexes as practiced in most areas in the Philippines. This is likely shown in the examples below. First, boys and men are permitted to stay out more and up to a later time than the girls and women. Second, a philandering or immoral man is considered as demonstrating his manliness or pagkalalaki, while a philandering or immoral woman is considered as cheap, bad, or masamang babae. Another example is when women are expected to remain virginal until they marry, while it is generally acceptable for men to have sexual experience before marriage. Another one, women are socially judged and legally penalized for adultery and for having children out of wedlock. Another one is men who stay at home to do household chores instead of having jobs to earn money for the family are considered by some as under the saya. Gender and sexuality are 2 issues that affect your life as a teenager. These 2 concepts have some of the greatest impact on how you view yourself and deal with other people, especially with the opposite sex. Sexual feelings are normal and healthy. As a teen, you will experience a heightened desire to explore your sexuality. This is completely normal and healthy. Just keep in mind that sexuality encompasses our whole being. Managing sexuality-related issues should be founded on values, particularly self-respect and respect for others. And that's the end of the first part of our health lesson this first quarter. The part 2 of this lesson is in another video uploaded also in my channel. So for the complete discussion of this lesson, you might also want to check the part 2 of the video lesson of this topic. I hope you learned a lot about the concepts of gender and human sexuality from our discussion, and hopefully you can apply it in your real life. Thank you for watching and see you again on our next lesson. Bye!